This is Algebra 1, Semester 2. It's the 5th unit Equations Review, and it's the 6th lesson Multi-Step Equations Practice. It's on creatormath.com under the Algebra 1 tab. You might have to Google creatormath.weebly.com to find the site. The instructions are copy the following problems into your composition book on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. And let's model that very quickly here, if at all possible. So here's what you're looking for, creatormath.weebly.com. The home page looks like this. Any information you need on the composition book, if you don't understand it or how to put it together, scroll down on this home page until you see big words, composition book, right? And you see a picture of one. Follow all the videos and instructions, and if you do what it says, you should have a very high score on your comp book. So let's go to algebra, where all the notes, videos, etc. are labeled there. So we're going to have, this is the vocabulary for Algebra 1. Don't forget there's a full PDF here. If you're not getting 100% on your vocabulary practices, then you may not know how to open this PDF and search it, right? Google, how do you search a PDF and open this sucker up? All the words are on there as far as I know for the entire year. Let's scroll down to this unit. First, you got to make sure you're in the right semester, right? This one is from semester 2. So we're going to find this unit down here. It is an equations review, and it is lesson 6. So go down here to lesson 6, multi-step equations. And here are the page numbers where the notes go in your comp book. Please don't follow this video, but look at the actual table of contents. By the time you view this, these are probably different. So don't follow this video's page numbers here, but just know that's where you find them, right? Here are the notes. In all fairness, I have to open it twice sometimes to get it to load. And either it's a picture of my notes or sometimes it's a picture of the board, but once it loads, you'll be able to expand it. It's going to explain to you in some examples multi-step equation solving. This is a review lesson, and it is the 5th lesson in the 6th lesson in the unit. So you should be pretty sophisticated at understanding what all this means. It looks like a lot of gibberish if it were the first thing you were looking at, okay? We're talking about opposite operations. Remember, operations in math are subtraction. Well, opposite operations are subtraction, division, and root. Forward operations would be addition, multiplication, and power, right? Numerator and denominator. Remember, numerator is the top position in a fraction. Denominator is the lower position in a fraction. And you would have copied these notes into your comp book first on the correct pages, and then you go and do these problem sets, copying them into your comp book also. So here's the first multi-step equation. It's negative 30 equals negative 5 times 2x plus 2. All right, so what do we do first? We're going to try to expand any distributive property. This is distributive, so we're going to go negative 5 times 2x is a negative 10x. Negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10. We're going to bring down the negative 30. Remember, there's a center line right down through the equals. We're going to go like this. No, we're not going to go like that yet. Actually, in this case, we're going to go ahead and say, let's say plus 10 on both sides, plus 10 to the right, so therefore we do it to the left. Why did we do plus 10? Because it's the opposite operation of this minus 10, which is bothering the x, right? We're trying to isolate the x. So now we're going to draw a line, and now these are going to disappear. We've got negative 10x here on this side and equals down the center line, and negative 30 plus 10 is negative 20. We're now going to divide both sides by negative 10. So see how it's being multiplied? The opposite operation is to divide by negative 10. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So negative 10 divided by negative 10 is 1. 1 times x is x. You only have an x on the right side now. The negatives disappear on the left, and 20 divided by 10 is 2. So x equals 2. Remember, you can always plug this back in. If you take 2, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. And doesn't that equal negative 30? Check, right? I become a little bit negligent in checking my equations. You know, I'm always telling students to do it, but in all honesty, I start to get a little bit careless sometimes, especially if I'm doing a quiz and I know I'm pulling up the right answer to it, right? Or practice like this. 5x over 7 plus 8 equals 5. So this is 6x divided by 7. this is minus a 5x divided by 7 plus 8. So what do we want to do first? I don't like numbers in the denominator. I want to multiply by 7 over 1. Why? Because if you multiply here 7, now that's going to cancel. If you multiply here 7, now that's going to cancel. My denominators are gone. But don't forget, I got to multiply by 7 here, and I got to multiply by 7 here. Right? So what's left? The 7's are gone. I'm left with a 6x. I'm left with minus a 5x. I'm left with a 7 times 8 is 56 plus 56. I got my equals lined up, and 7 times 5 is 35. Right? So this is distributive. You're distributing that 7 across all the terms in this equation. And then it starts to remove things. Look how much simpler this looks to me, right? 6x minus 5x is x. And I might go ahead and just say minus 56 on both sides here. All right, this is going to be gone. And let's not do it here. Let's move it down here. X is left. This disappears, equals a negative 56 plus 35. And just to model that, go right out to your calculator, clear this out, and say minus 56, all right, plus 35, minus 21. All right, so x equals negative 21. I'm finding my right answer. I'm going to move on down the road with this. This one is, it's a little bit hard to read these sometimes, you guys. This is 8, or x plus 8 divided by, see the divided by negative 10 right there, equals 7. I would consider this in a parentheses, and I'd multiply both sides by negative 10. That gets rid of the negative 10s here. They become 1, and I'm left with only x plus 8 on the left. 7 times negative 10 is negative 70. Subtract 8 from both sides, and x equals negative 78. So, of course, these are multi-step, right? How many steps did I do? 1, maybe 2. This one's not bad, too. I probably did 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 here. These are multi-step equations, you guys. It's about as gnarly as it's going to get in high school, I would believe, for most high school Algebra 1 classes. So we have a 10 equals x over 3 here, minus 6. I know I said I didn't like the denominator before, but in this case, I might actually just deal with this minus 6. I might add 6 to both sides. Gone. So I'm left with x over 3 here equals 16. And now multiply both sides by 3. The 3 over 3 is 1. So come up over here. I have x equals, and 3 times 16 is 30, plus 18 is 48. So I have x equals 48. I'm okay with that. Let's go here and say 2 times 3 minus 2x plus 19 equals minus 3. Distribute first. 6, 2 times 3. 2 times a negative 2x. Negative 2 times 2 is 4x. Plus 19. Now the parentheses are gone since we executed the distributive property. Let's say the minus 4x comes down. Let's do the 6 and the 19 is plus 25. This equals minus 3. Let's do minus 25 on both sides. Gone. Negative 4x equals negative 28. Let's divide both sides by negative 4. This is 1. So 1 times x is x. We still have an equals lined up here. Negative divided by negative is positive. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So this is x equals 7. All right. Hope that's legible. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, solve this one. So negative 2 times 2x plus 5 equals negative 26. Distribute first. Negative 4x minus 10 equals negative 26. My bad handwriting. Add 10 to both sides. Makes it disappear from the left here. Notice there's still the center line right down the middle, right? A negative 26 plus 10 is a negative 16. The negative 4x is here. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. This is 1. So just to come over here, so you have x on the left is equal to negative negative is a positive, 16 divided by 4 is 4, x equals 4. All right, I'm going to get one wrong here, model going back and fixing it. All right, let's see if I can do that. Well, this is 7 times 2 minus 4x, that is distributive, so we're going to distribute that first. Here and here, 2 times 7 is 14. Negative 4x times 7 is minus 28x. Plus 14 equals minus 28. Let's combine 14 and 14. So interesting, I have a minus 28x, and 14 is plus 28, equals a negative 28. Boy, a lot of 28s going on. I'm going to subtract 28 from both sides. This is gone, so negative 28x over here. This is 2 negative 28s, so isn't that 56? So I think I have negative 56 here. Over here I'm going to take negative 28x, I'm going to divide by negative 28. Can this still be seen? Oops. And that was equal to negative 56, so what I do to one side I do to the other. Negative 28, I'm divided by both sides. This is 1. Anything over itself is 1, with exception to 0, but in general. So x equals, the two negatives are positive, 56 divided by 28 is 2. So come back over here, I'm going to do 2. All right, negative 60 equals 5 times 2x plus 2. Here and here, negative 60 equals 5 times 2x is 10x, plus 10. Minus 10 on both sides, gone. 10x equals, minus 10 and a minus 60 is a minus 70. Divide both sides by 10, and this becomes, the zeros disappear, and 7 divided by 1 is 1, and there's a minus. So x, I'm going to flip the sides, equals a negative 7. Negative 7. Sometimes I squish them into a small space, and sometimes I don't. Okay, so 6 times 4 minus 7x plus 20 equals negative 292. Gnarly. All right, so here and here, distribute. 6 times 4 is 24 minus 6 times 7 is 42x. We got the minus in there still, or negative. Plus 20, bring this down, equals negative 292. All right, combine like terms. 24 and a 20, so negative 42x plus 44 equals negative 292. Minus 44 on both sides. Okay. Let's go up over here. Can I still see it? Come on. There we go. We've got negative 42x. On this side, that would drop down. This disappears. And over here we have, what does this come out to? 292 and 44. Remember, if you need a crutch, 292 plus 44, 336. All right, and they're both negative, so it stays negative, negative 336. Divide both sides by negative 42, and if I'm lucky, x is going to equal, so let's clear this. Let's say 336, which is negative, divided by 42, which is negative, is 8. All right, so x equals 8. We're lucky it came out even, and all these, I guess, are planned to do so. One more. Rewrite it carefully. 3x divided by 2. Just concentrate a little bit when you rewrite this, because my brain wants to go off in some other direction. Let's subtract the 5 from both sides first, because that's just the easiest to get rid of. This becomes 15, 20 minus 5, and this comes down, 3x divided by 2. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Gone. 3x equals 30. I like the way this is going. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 10. So, multi-step equation review. Please follow the title to make sure that the practice set you're doing matches up with the video you're watching. This is Algebra 1, Semester 2. The 5th unit called Equations Review. It's the 6th lesson called Multi-Step Equations Practice on CreatorMath.com under the Algebra 1 tab. Hope this helps.